With all the midweek games you've had, Andy, it's typical that when you've had a defeat the following Saturday, you've not had one this time around. It must have felt like a long week.
It's been a really productive week. We gave the players some time off at the start of the week. The schedule's been hectic with other things going off as well. I thought it was time for them to give a mental and physical break. And we've had a real good 4-day lead into this game. Really good preparation, lots of match prep, lots of game scenarios, lots of enjoyment as well, and try and get a smile back on people's faces. And it's about enjoying the challenge going forward now. We know what's ahead of us, we know the fixtures we've got. It's about us embracing that challenge and being really positive.
How are you viewing these next few weeks? Because you've got a lot now of Saturday, Tuesday.
It's an opportunity to get points on the board. You know, with the fixtures we've got and the teams we're playing and the teams above us, we've got to come here and we've got to take on. The ball is definitely in our court, in our hands. It's about us and how we get ourselves in a really positive mindset and play really positive winning football going forward.
How frustrating has it been for you over the last few weeks? Because a lot of draws in there. You're clearly so close. You're not that far away in so many games.
Absolutely. I think it's not a case of ripping up and start again. The fine margins of football are there for all to see. Tranmere away, Rochdale away, two different scenarios. How both game ends and everyone's emotions are totally different. But yeah, we're not a long way away. It's how we turn those draws into wins. It's about, for me, it's about us being more creative, less safe, taking the handbrake off, taking risks, going to have belief in ourselves, and creating more goal scoring opportunities, and that will lead to scoring goals.
How different is this side without Tom Conlon in it?
Well, we all know what a good player Tom Conlon is, but we haven't got Tom Conlon available, so we need to park that and say Tom Conlon can't influence the 90 minutes of football on a Saturday or Tuesday night. He can influence the group in different ways, but he can't be out there on a Saturday. So it's about other people taking on responsibility and playing their game and playing their game to their strengths and being that creative player that we need. But when we've got the ball, we need 10 players who are creating, and when we haven't got it, we need 10 outfield players to try and get the ball back for us and stop the opposition scoring. So, you know, we all know Tom's a good player. We've got other players missing as well who are equally as good as important to the group. So, yeah, he's not available for the rest of the season. We wish he was, but he's not.
You've just used the word creative 3 times there. When Tom Conlon's not in the side, how much does your creativity level drop?
Well, he's a source of assists, he's a source of goals. He plays the last pass in the final third with regularity and consistency. So, yeah, he's a good player, and any team in this league would miss him. But it's up to other players now to step up, develop their own game, take more risks, play that last pass, and if it doesn't happen for whatever reason, get the ball again and go and play the next pass again. And if it doesn't happen, then go and play it again. And that's what we're after. Go and back yourself. Go and back each other. Go and demand really high standards of each other, and go and enjoy the challenge.
Is that a confidence thing? People not having the confidence maybe to do that in the final third?
I think you could put a variety of reasons on it, but I think we've come safe. We've come safe, and we've become maybe a sideways and backwards and non-risk taking team. And we've got a lot of fixtures to go. 13 games, 39 points to play for. There's a hell of a lot still to play for, and we're in charge of our own destiny.
Is there anything you can do about that? When you feel that in games sometimes you've become safe, is that just down to the individuals on the pitch, or is there stuff you can do off it to improve that?
Well, I hope I can influence some of it, absolutely. But you know, when the players cross over the line, they have to make in-game decisions. No, they're not robots. We can give them all the ideas and game plan and organisation and what we think can happen. But ultimately, they go out and make decisions. And we've got a group of really good players. We've got a really good squad of players, and we will attack these next 13 games going forward without a shadow of a doubt.
I heard you say the other day about Tom Conlon maybe taking on a different role around the football club, and you've just spoken about how he can influence things, but not during the 90 minutes. What could that role be?
Well, obviously, since he's been out, he's been up on the gantry for home and away games. We're utilising him. Spoke to him this morning. He's going to be watching games of Bradford and feeding back to the staff on Tuesday about how he sees things, and just trying to keep his involvement in the processes of us trying to win games of football. Dan Jones, Jake Taylor, they're doing the same thing as well. You know, they want to get fit as quickly as possible. They want to influence the games on the pitch, but currently they can't. So how can we utilise them in a different way, and how can we keep them stimulated and part of the process of us trying to win a game of football?
How have you found these last few weeks stepping up?
Yeah, it's obviously been challenging for different reasons, but as I say, I've thanked everyone. The players and staff have been remarkably supportive towards me. I've tried to do my best in this situation and be supportive and set high standards and behaviour myself and try and lead the group through a difficult moment. I look at myself and reflect on how I have performed over these last few weeks. And yeah, it's been a real good learning curve for me.
Is there anybody in the game who you've been able to turn to for bits of advice and to kind of bounce ideas off?
Yeah, my wife. No, I've spoken to a number of people, about I've managed to. You have contacts, don't you? Have friends who've maybe have seen loads of different scenarios. I've seen a lot of them myself as well. But yeah, you're always talking to people in the game about what do you think of this, what do you think of that, etc., etc.
You've got a director of football who's got 300 plus games experience. How useful has he been? How hands-on or hands-off has he been? He's
been incredibly supportive since obviously this happened, and he's tried to help me in any single way he can. He's asked me thought-provoking questions, and have you thought of this, have you thought of that? He's left it down to me, and he's been, incredibly supportive, as has the whole football club. Every single person in this football club has been incredible in these last few weeks, how they've stepped up, how they've took on what has happened, how they've tried to help each other, and that's what we'll continue to do.
Brilliant. Thank you. Cheers.
And obviously you just touched on risk taking, and you're creating an awful lot of chances in every game. It's about that final decision that maybe they've been in a position, and you won't criticise them if they just have a shot from maybe 30, 20 yards, 6 yards. Just take the risk, isn't it?
Absolutely. I think there were scenarios from last week's game. I think we had a 4v2 in the first half where that should result in the goal. It didn't. People make a decision on the pitch, rightly or wrongly. We've missed the opportunities to put the ball in the box, and we've got people free. So it's about the decision, it's about the technique, but it's also about me giving those players confidence, because they're at this football club for a reason, because they're good players, and form is temporary, class is permanent, and we've got total belief in these players going forward.
Because there are goals in the side, aren't they, if they do that?
Absolutely. No, I think we were in the top 5 or 6 clubs in the league, and we've got to 50 goals, something like that. So, but yeah, they've dried up for whatever reason they have. But there's no thinking about we can turn it around on Saturday and suddenly you start a run, and then those little confidence drops back in, and people are hitting the target again, and then they're scoring, and then their belief goes through the roof. So it all changes very quickly.
And you can build another run. You've just come to the end of one run, but you're capable of doing it. You proved that, but it's the winning factor now, isn't it, Andy?
Absolutely. Yeah, we're at that stage now where the better the performance gives you the better chance of winning games, in my opinion, over a consistent period. But now it's about winning games, and however we win a game going forward, starting with Saturday, that's the most important thing.
Crawley are a different outfit to what you saw them when you beat them 5-0 away. They come here on the back of a defeat, but they'll be going strong again, won't they?
Absolutely. They've got a talented group of players who are playing to their own strengths and capabilities. So yeah, we're obviously aware of what they want to do, but it's all about us, like it always is.